3 years, eh? 3 years.
This is cause number 2021 CR 0879, the state of Texas versus Jacinto Salazar. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Travis Rodriguez for the state of Texas.
Christine McDonald for the defendant.
Mr. Salazar is appearing by video conference. Mr. Salazar, go ahead and tell me your full name.
Jacinto Joshua Salazar III.
Okay. I am going to show you the true bill of indictment that was filed in this case. It alleges the offense of a felon in possession of a firearm alleged to have occurred December 7th, 2020. Do you understand the charge you have today?
Yes, ma'am.
That is a third-degree felony. It is punishable by confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, any period from 2 to 10 years confinement. It also carries a possible fine of up to $10,000. Do you understand the range of punishment that applies?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right to a jury trial, Mr. Salazar. You have the right to cross-examine the witnesses against you, and you have the right to remain silent. Those are your constitutional rights. Do you understand those?
Yes, ma'am.
When you sign the document that I have on the screen, the court admonishments, what you're telling me is you want to give up those rights. Is that what you intend to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the representation of your attorney?
Yes.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, ma'am.
If you are not a citizen, I'm still required to tell you that a plea of guilty or no contest to this charge could result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Ms. McDonald, does your client have a rational and factual understanding of the proceedings against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he been able to assist you in the preparation of any defenses?
Yes, he has, Judge.
In your opinion, is he mentally competent to waive his rights and enter into a plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will accept the waiver of rights and make it part of the record. Mr. Salazar, on the screen, I have the agreement that you have made on this case. The plea bargain agreement calls for 5 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. The state recommends that it be suspended and you be placed on probation for 5. We're going to do a TAP evaluation and 150 hours of community service. Is that your understanding of the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. McDonald, is that yours?
Yes, Your Honor.
And state, is that yours?
Is our understanding, Your Honor?
What is your plea to the charge of felon in possession of a firearm? Is it guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Mr. Salazar.
No contest.
Are you pleading no contest because you've talked about this matter with your attorney and you believe it's in your best interest to do so?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone forced you to enter a plea of no contest in this case?
No, ma'am.
Or offered you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, ma'am.
I will accept the plea of no contest. I find the plea is voluntarily made, and I will ask the state to tender its proof.
State offers in evidence State's Exhibit 1 and all of its attachments, pending any objections.
No objection, Your Honor.
State's 1 is admitted. Ms. McDonald, are you satisfied the state complied with Article 3914?
Your Honor, the state has given me all of the evidence in their possession, but as I've already discussed with my client, there are some body cams that were not retained, Judge, and are not available. My client was advised of this and it still would like to go forward with this plea and respectfully request that the court follow the plea bargain, Judge.
Okay. With that understanding, I am going to sign the discovery acknowledgement and I will make it part of the record. And that's what you want to do, right, Mr. Salazar?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, give me just a minute to review the evidence. State, is there a need for a no contact order with Jennifer White?
Your Honor, I don't believe so. And as well, I think it might be problematic. It was expressed to me that they may have children together. They may have a reason to continue contact. Perhaps opposing counsel is in a better position to answer that question.
Judge, that's correct. They do have children together, and we're requesting that there be no contact order added to the probation judge so they can facilitate caring for their children together.
I mean, this is how it all started, right, Mr. Salazar? This is what got the police involved that night. You were arguing.
Nah, well, if you could say that, I guess, but it was just a misunderstanding. Our stepson went and told the cop that I guess I was arguing because I talk with a deep voice, and to him it sounded like we're arguing, I guess.
Okay, well, I won't prohibit any contact, but I expect you to behave while you're on probation.
I will.
I do find the evidence is sufficient to substantiate your guilt. I will find you guilty of the offense of felon in possession of a firearm. I will sentence you pursuant to your agreement to 5 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. That's going to be suspended. You're going to be placed on probation for 5 years. There's a $1,000 fine. We're going to do a TAP evaluation, and you'll have to perform 150 hours of community service. Mr. Salazar, this is a plea bargain case. I did follow your plea bargain agreement. You do not have a right to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your
Okay.
Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
may I address one thing, Judge?
Yes, go ahead.
My client has been in custody since December of last year, Judge. We're just respectfully requesting if the TAP can be done out of custody, Judge.
Yes, I don't do those prior to. I don't do those. We just do those while they're on probation. We let them start and then they do it.
Thank you so much, Judge. That's all.
Okay. If you could please go in a breakout room so that you can sign your conditions and then you'll be free to go.
Okay.
Valerie, I'm printing the trial court cert because it's not letting me sign it.
Judge, that's all I have today. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you, Christine.
Thank you.
No, that's for me to sign.
That's stereotyping. That's stereotyping, singling a person out. Man.
Judith Wemmert, what is the status of Jason Santos?
Judge, we have an agreement and Ms. Flater's working on the paperwork.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Judge. Am I excused as well, or?
No, you have to go to a breakout room.
Oh,
Ash,
okay,
can you
I'm
move in,
sorry.
please?
Go to room 3, Mr. Salazar.
How do I do that? Where do I go?
Ask one of the deputies to help you.
Okay.
Ashley, if you want to delete Salazar's paperwork, I had to print it. It wasn't letting me sign anything.
Okay, Judge, thank you.
Hey, Ashley, this is Shaughnessy. Did you get my paperwork?
It goes to the defendant in jail. He needs to sign.
Okay. Okay. I'm here. Wait. Whenever you're ready.
Mr. Hawkins, it's on your end.
Pardon?
Yes, I don't know how to do that.
Check with the
Yes.
deputy, Hawkins. He'll show you how.
Okay, wait me 1 second.
Judy, paperwork is with you.
Ashley, do I need a cert of appeal and a video conference form for Paul Morales?
I emailed it to her. She's gonna send it to you soon.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, I don't have complete packets for anyone, so if you think that I should have all your paperwork, please tell me so we can try to locate it, but I just have bits and pieces.
You should have mine, Judge Noah Guardiola.
No, so on Noah, I only have the plea packet. I don't have the trial court cert or the discovery.
Well, why not?
Discovery is yours, so check your
It's-
email.
No, I signed that and they sent it to me. I signed that a month ago and they just sent it to me again today, the completed one. So maybe it's just buried.
Judge, I believe you signed it as well.
Did I sign it?
I believe it's
By
earlier.
mistake?
It shows that the plea packet is still with you.
I have the
not
plea
s-
packet.
I have not sent anything. I need to know what the agreement is.
It's 2 deferred on a misdemeanor, ABI family.
Judge, you should have or be coming your way paperwork on Christina Munoz. This is Jay Moritz.
Yes, Jay, I have her discovery acknowledgement. I don't have the rest.
I
My
was there
clerk is
with her.
signing it.
Yeah,
My
everything's,
clerk,
okay, all right. Thanks.
my clerk is signing it, so
Okay.
we're almost
very
there
good.
with that one.
Judge, this is Kirk Sherman. You should have everything on Todd Bridges.
Okay, I could tell you for sure on Bridges, I don't have anything.
Yes, I don't know what the agreement is on that one either.
Okay.
I thought I sent it to you, Ashley. I'm sorry.
We sent it all back in, Judge. It went to the jail and it was signed there.
I have paperwork pending too, Judge.
I have some of Glover's, not all of it. Like I could tell you, I'm missing the plea packet. So let me just check with my clerk. So she's gonna check if anything is in her email and then I'll come back on.
Glover is just a MTR, Judge.
What? Okay. I'm hoping that'll apply to Bridges too. Everything on Todd Bridges has been set back in.
On Glover, what's happening with the night mags? Those are all gonna get dismissed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, then I'm ready to go on Glover, if that's what's happening. So he's just gonna plead to the MTRs, basically?
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
This is Salazar. I already signed the papers and I think she told me I was done, so I could just leave the room ready.
Yes, you're free to go.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Hold on. Can I have the files for Glover?
Ashley, could I help Paul Morales sign his forms?
I'm still working on the second set of paperwork.
Okay, so on Glover, we're going, those two cases are MTRs, the
That's correct. Judge.
603B and 601B.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Where's Mr. Glover? You ready, Mr. Glover? Go ahead and unmute yourself, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
This is cause number 2011 CR 9603B as in boy. This is also cause number 2011 9601B as in boy. The state of Texas versus Trevor Glover, also known as Trey Ver Lagai Glover. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Rodriguez.
Cornelius Cox for the defendant.
Is that thing muted or what? The camera's off. Okay, sorry. The TV was muted. So attorneys, can you please make your announcements for the record again?
Travis Rodriguez for the state of Texas.
Cornelius Cox for the defendant, Mr. Glover.
Mr. Glover is appearing by video conference from the Bexar County Jail. Mr. Glover, go ahead and state your full name for the record.
Trevor Lagai Glover.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
On the screen, I have the motion to enter adjudication of guilt.
Everybody has to do respect one time. You got 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes. Y'all back 10 minutes.
On the screen, Mr. Glover, I have the state's motion to enter adjudication of guilt. Do you understand the allegations that the state has said that you have failed to comply with on your probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, go ahead and read your first violation and tell me which cause number you're on.
I'll proceed with what's on the screen, Your Honor. It's cause 2011 CR 9603B. In that motion before the court, the state is going to pursue 3 violation condition number 1s. I'm going to read them in sequential order for ease of the court. That is that on or about the 13th day of November 2020 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Trevor Glover, aka Trevor Lagai Glover, committed the offense of possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance in violation of condition number 1. As well, on or about the 13th day of November 2020 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Trevor Glover, aka Trevor Lagai Glover, committed the offense of possession marijuana in violation of condition number 1. And lastly, on or about the 13th day of November 2020 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Trevor Glover, aka Trevor Lagai Glover, committed the offense of possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance in violation condition number 1.
To those 3 violations of condition number 1, Mr. Glover, what is your plea? Is it true or not true?
I mean, because I didn't confer with my attorney, do I?
Come on, Glover.
True, it's true, Your Honor. But I was gonna ask to go into a room with my attorney before we got back on, but it's true, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you some time to confer. Ashley, please put them in the breakout room.
Cornelius and Glover, you're both an 8. You just need to go back.
All right, thank you.
Jerry, paperwork is with you, and Kirk, paperwork is with you.
Mr. Santos, would you go back to the breakout room, please?
Mr. Bridges, you have 2 documents assigned. And they're on your end. Mr. Hernandez, I sent you the paperwork today, but he was set tomorrow. I asked Judge if she'd like to hear it today.
Oh, thank you so much. I've been in communication with Sam, and I think he's working on the paperwork, but if you can do it today, it'd be awesome because he's here with me. If
I'm
not,
working on it, Ashley. Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't realize he was showed up
Yeah,
today.
no, he was set for tomorrow, but I'll ask the girls if they can pull the stuff.
Thank you. I do have to make an announcement for the morning docket as well.
Sorry.
Mr. Guardiola? You have documents to sign on your end?
They're gonna have to walk them through that, and I swear to God, we signed those 2 hours ago.
I hadn't sent them on my end, Jerry. So
I don't know who sent them, but we sat there with the bailiff and went through it.
Mr. Guardiola, you need to ask for help. You have 2 documents to sign, actually 3. They're in one email.
They asked me questions. So probably tomorrow, but I don't have no home right now while my family's already dead. So I don't want to go, to a different place. I don't want to act, that may be popular right now. But I was saying him when I where I want. I have no friends right now. While I want to be alone with my own my own music. That's what I do in my life. I've been with this.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought my microphone was on. Is it asking for an address? Is the form asking you for an address?
Miss Munoz, can you raise your right hand and unmute yourself? Christina Munoz, the defendant in this case.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you familiar with the exhibits and stipulations that were attached?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you solemnly swear it's true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
You're familiar with the jury waiver?
Yes, ma'am.
Your attorney has explained to you your constitutional rights and you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
It is your desire to enter this plea and waive your right to a jury trial.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can lower your hand. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it unmuted? Ready, Mr. Moritz?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, this is cause number 2021 CR 5825W, the state of Texas versus Christina Munoz. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Gretchen Plater for the state.
Jay Moritz, Your Honor, for Mr. Munoz.
I'm sorry, guys, we're gonna have to stop this right here. This is not the correct paperwork. This is a waiver number. I need the waiver of the grand jury.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I totally screwed it up. I'm so sorry, Judge.
Why don't you just do those 3 documents, the waiver, the information?
I don't know how to. Because I don't know how to. I'll just redo it. I'm really, really sorry, Jay. That's totally my fault. I'll get it to you in like 5 minutes, I promise.
Okay.
And Judge, we're going to ask to alter and amend the conditions on the MTR and withdraw the MTR. So maybe Bianca can get that.
Okay, let's do that. Maybe you can message her what she needs to do.
I emailed her. I don't know if that was clear.
What about the other night mag?
That's going to be TIC.
Okay. All right. So Ms. Munoz, you're going to sign the same paperwork with the exception of 3 documents. You'll need to talk to your attorney briefly about those, but it's quick.
Yes, ma'am.
We can do it. We can get it done quickly. Don't worry.
I'm really
Yes, Your
sorry.
Honor. Thank
It's
you.
my fault. Sorry.
No, thank you. I appreciate you.
Okay. Let's go ahead and swear in Todd Bridges.
Mr. Bridges, can you raise your right hand and unmute yourself, please?
Okay.
Are you Todd Bridges, the defendant in this case?
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor.
Are you familiar with the exhibits and stipulations that were attached?
Yes, I am.
And do you solemnly swear it's true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you familiar with the jury waiver?
Yes.
Your attorney has explained to you your constitutional rights and you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
It is your desire to enter this plea and waive your right to a jury trial.
Yes.
Okay, you can lower your hand. Thank you.
Okay.
Ashley, should I be helping Mr. Morales with his paperwork now?
You're both in the same room, so you can head back. It's the same thing with you, Jerry. Mr. Guardiola needs to sign those documents.
Mr.
Let's go.
Guardiola needs some help at the jail.
This is a new one. This is a new document Ashley just sent, so call them up. Let's go on the record on Todd Allen Bridges. Is everyone ready?
Kirk Stern for Mr. Bridges. I'm here.
Okay, hang on. This is cause number 2021 CR 2852, the state of Texas versus Todd Allen Bridges. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Gretchen Plater for the state.
Kirk Stern for Mr. Bridges.
Mr. Bridges is appearing by video conference from the Bexar County Jail. Go ahead and tell me your full name, sir.
Todd Allen Bridges.
Mr. Bridges, on the screen, I have the true bill of indictment that has been filed in this case. It alleges the offense of retaliation against a public servant. Do you understand the charge that you have this afternoon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Is there a motion by the state?
Judge, the state moves to proceed under the lesser included offense of terroristic threat on a public servant.
That's a Class A misdemeanor, Mr. Bridges. It is punishable by confinement in the Bexar County Jail up to 1 year and also a possible fine of up to $4,000. Do you understand the range of punishment that applies to a Class A misdemeanor?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right to a jury trial. You have the right to cross-examine the witnesses against you. You also have the right to remain silent. Those are your constitutional rights. Do you understand those?
Yes, Your Honor.
When you sign this document, Mr. Bridges, you're telling me you want to give up those rights. Is that what you intend to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your electronic signature here?
Yes.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
If you were not a citizen, I'm still required to tell you that a plea of guilty or no contest to this charge could result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Mr. Bridges, are you satisfied with the representation of your attorney?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman, does your client have a rational and factual understanding of the proceedings against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he been able to assist you in the preparation of any defenses?
He has.
In your opinion, is he mentally competent to waive his rights and enter into a plea?
Yes, ma'am.
I will accept the waiver of rights and make it part of the record. Mr. Bridges, on the screen, I have the plea bargain that you made. It calls for 1 year confinement in the Bexar County Jail on the terroristic threat, no applications for probation. The state's going to dismiss 2 of your misdemeanor cases. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Sherman, is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
State, is that your understanding?
Yes, Judge.
What is your plea to the charge of terroristic threat of a public servant? Is it guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty and for no other reason?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you to enter a plea of guilty today
No.
or offered you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, ma'am.
I will accept the plea of guilty. I find the plea is voluntarily made, and I will ask the state to tender its proof.
State offer States Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No objection.
States 1 is admitted. Mr. Sherman, are you satisfied the state complied with Article 3914?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will sign the discovery acknowledgement in this case and make it part of the record. Okay, give me just a few minutes.
Mr. Morales, you need to go back to room 1.
How do I do that?
You don't know how, you need to ask for help. Same thing, Mr. Guardiola, you need to ask for help.
What? Which is changed, no, they did 1044, they just changed the charge to Class A. Is it?
I need to go to room 1.
Ashley, if you could put Miss Munoz and I back together again, we can redo some of the paperwork.
Let's go back on the record. I do find the evidence is sufficient to substantiate your guilt, Mr. Bridges. I'm going to find you guilty of the Class A misdemeanor terroristic threat on a public servant.
Okay.
And I will assess punishment at 1 year confinement in the Bexar County Jail. The state is also going to dismiss 634-924 and 653-359. You do get credit for all the time that you have been in custody on this case, and I do find that the judgment is satisfied.
Okay.
This is a plea bargain case. Hang on. This is a plea bargain case. I did follow your plea bargain agreement. You do not have a right to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me, what is your question?
Oh, I'm a trustee. I've been in jail 6 months. So would I get time served?
Yes, I'm sending a directive to release you today. We're done.
Okay. Oh, okay, ma'am. God bless you. Thank you.
And then
All
state,
right.
did you send me those dismissals?
Thank you.
Hang on.
No, I have not.
Okay. Can someone else help you do those?
I've got it.
Great.
Okay, Mr. Bridges, you're free to go. We'll take care of the dismissals on our end.
Oh, thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you, Mr.
Are we gonna, can we make sure that he gets?
Don't worry. Go sit down. Go sit down. Yes, you're confused, bro.
I'm gonna sign them. They're right next door. Just walk them over.
You don't have to call. You don't have to call them.
Huh? Oh, where? I don't have to wait for anything. I'm done. Said I'm done, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. I'm sorry.
What? Yes, sir.
Jerry, he
Okay,
signed
well,
on my
we're
end.
about to find out.
Say again?
He signed.
I'm ready on Noe Guardiola. It's not muted, is it, Diego? Is it muted? Is the TV muted? Is everybody ready on Noe Guardiola?
It's ready, Your Honor.
Defense was ready, Judge. I would just ask you to go a little bit slow with Mr. Guardiola.
Okay. Mr. Guardiola, go ahead and unmute yourself. Can you hear me? This is Judge Meza. Can somebody help him unmute himself, please? Okay, Mr. Guardiola, can you hear me? This is Judge Meza.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, we're gonna go on the record in your case. I'll be asking you some questions and I'll need you to answer me, okay?
Be easy, please. I don't want nothing that you want to be, too studied. Just simple.
I didn't understand. What are you
Yeah,
saying? I don't understand you.
I want, simple question. I don't want to, I don't went to college, so I don't know nothing about college. I don't know nothing about university.
You don't want to what?
I don't know, understand what you're saying about university, college cops. I don't understand.
Okay, I'm not saying anything about university, anything.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about those answers. So, simple questions that be on. My case is very easy and I can pay too much money.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Kagan, do we need to refer him for an evaluation?
I don't believe so, Judge. Earlier in the day, it was much easier to communicate with him, but I think we're going to be able to get through it. I explained to him everything, and like I said, it was earlier in the day, so I hope he remembers what we talked about.
Mr. Guardiola, do you understand the charges you have this afternoon?
You ask questions, I don't know the answers. I can't help you out to get you out of this, that situation that you have a sickness in your life. I can't help you on that.
Do you understand why you're in jail?
I know yeah. Yeah, it could be someday I will understand, but I don't have the answer for that.
Do you understand why you're in jail?
Yeah, I understand when I'm in jail.
Yeah, you understand what? Do you understand why you're in jail?
Yeah, I understand when I'm in jail. You understand?
Why are you in jail? Tell me why you're in jail.
I understand what I'm in jail. And the answer, I don't have the answer until you ask me the swings. I don't understand why.
Mr. Guardiola, I need you to listen to me.
Yeah.
Tell me why you think you're in jail.
You want to get me out of jail? I don't know. I'm a simple person and I can handle it. Wow, I gotta, prepare myself until I have the answer. I don't have the answer yet.
All right, well, on the court's own motion, I'm going to refer him for an evaluation. I apologize, Mr. Kagan. I'm not gonna take the plea today.
Understood, Judge, and I will explain it to his father. Like I said, earlier in the day, he was giving me perfect answers. So I don't know if something wore off. That's trying to get him out of jail today, but it is what it is.
Okay, I'm gonna make the referral. Thank you. Get me a competency referral. He can go back. Guardiola, officer, I don't think he can hear me. He just walked away, but Guardiola is excused.
Ashley, I think we turned everything in. Paul Morales and I.
No, Guardiola.
Is it?
Come here.
Everything on my end has been signed. Thank you. Sign this too. Can you get a chance to?
Just put up
Okay, I have the correct plea packet on Cristina Munoz. Let's go on the record on that one.
Ready, Judge.
And did you say we're going to dismiss the MTR?
Yes, Judge.
Okay,
If they're going to alter and amend some conditions about inpatient treatment.
okay. Let's go on the record. This is cause number 2021 CR 5825W, the state of Texas versus Cristina Munoz. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Judge Inflator for the state.
Jay Moritz, Your Honor, for Ms. Cristina Munoz.
Ms. Munoz is appearing from the Bexar County Jail. Ms. Munoz, go ahead and tell me your full name.
Cristina Munoz.
Okay, we're going to go over some documents this afternoon. Before we get to the information that charges you with possession 1 to 4 grams, let's talk about this waiver that's on the screen. This one right here. Normally, in a felony case, you are entitled to have your case presented to the grand jury. The grand jury then decides if there's enough evidence to charge you with a felony, and then they deliver the indictment. When you sign this document, what you're telling me is that you are going to waive that right to a grand jury. Is that what you intend to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your signature here indicating that you want to waive it?
Yes, ma'am.
I will sign the waiver of indictment and I will make it part of the record. The
Yes, ma'am.
information in this case alleges the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 1 to 4 grams. Do you understand the charge that you have this afternoon?
Yes, ma'am.
That is a 3rd-degree felony. It is punishable by confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, the institutional division, for any period from 2 to 10 years confinement and up to a $10,000 fine. Do you understand the range of punishment?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right to a jury trial. You have the right to cross-examine all the witnesses against you, and you have the right to remain silent. Those are your constitutional rights. Do you understand those?
Yes, ma'am.
When you sign this document, what you're telling me is you want to give up those constitutional rights I just explained to you. Is that what you intend to do?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Is this your electronic signature, Ms. Munoz?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
If you are not a citizen, I'm still required to tell you that a plea of guilty or no contest to this charge could result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law.
Yes,
Ms.
ma'am.
Munoz, are you satisfied with the representation of your attorney?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Mr. Moritz, does your client have a rational and factual understanding of the proceedings against her?
In my opinion, she does, Your Honor.
Has she been able to assist you in the preparation of any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
And in your opinion, is she mentally competent to waive her rights and enter into a plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will accept the waiver and make it part of the record. Ms. Munoz, let's take a look at the plea bargain that you've made in this case. It calls for a recommendation of deferred adjudication for a period of 3 years. There's no fine in this case. The state is going to recommend that this run concurrent with your probation case. That's cause number 2020 CR 10145. The state is going to dismiss the other night mag cause number. That is the assault on a public servant. Is that correct, state?
Yes, Judge.
That's night mag 612590. Restitution in the amount of $57 for the lab testing. We're going to do a TAP evaluation and 120 hours of community service. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Moritz, is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Flater, is that your understanding?
Yes, Judge.
What is your plea to the charge of Possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 1 to 4 grams. Is it guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, ma'am.
Are you pleading no contest because you've talked about this matter with your attorney and you believe it's in your best interest to do so?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Has anyone forced you to enter a plea
No, ma'am.
or offered you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, ma'am.
I will accept the plea of no contest. I find the plea is voluntarily made, and I will ask the state to tender its proof.
Yes, ma'am.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
States 1 is admitted. Mr. Moritz, are you satisfied the state complied with Article 3914 in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will sign the discovery acknowledgement and make it part of the record. And state, remind me, did you say you're going to withdraw the MTR or I'm going to take a plea on it?
Withdraw.
Okay, give me just a minute to review the evidence.
Hey, Ashley.
No, not yet.
Ashley, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
From this morning's docket, Robert Mauer's case, Gabriel Naranjo. What date, what's the new date on that? Do you have that?
Eight 16.
And what about Dela Cruz?
Seven 12.
Dela Cruz is positive for COVID, so we're calling him back on 7/12.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go back on the record, please, on Cristina Munoz. I do find the evidence is sufficient to substantiate your guilt. I will make no other findings at this time. I will grant the application for deferred adjudication for a period of 3 years. This will run concurrent with 2020 CR 10145. In consideration of your plea, the state is going to dismiss the night mag against you. That's assault on a public servant. I'll sign that dismissal at this time. There's $57 in restitution that is owed for the testing. We're going to do a TAP evaluation and 120 hours of community service. This is a plea bargain case, Ms. Munoz. I did follow your plea bargain agreement, so what that means is you do not have a right to appeal. Do you understand?
I do understand. Yes, ma'am.
Judge, a
Okay.
couple of things.
Yes, sir.
I'll need to clarify. There was
Yes,
a
sir.
TAP, there was a TAP evaluation done back on 1/27/21 and also a MIOF, a MIC evaluation done on 2/8/21. The probation officer, as part of what we've been discussing on this, because I don't want to misrepresent anything, had recommended to me, and this is what was discussed with the prosecutor, that she get residential treatment through either mixed supervision or a dually diagnosed residential facility. And my client is agreeable to that, and that's the reason we're in the situation of them not giving her a conviction now. So I just wanted to clarify that for the judge. The prosecutor, we were real clear on that, and my client understands that.
Okay, I believe that's what you're altering the conditions of the deferred case for, right?
That is correct, and if Gretchen could tap in on that, I don't want to misrepresent something to the court.
Nope, that's right. We're amending for the DDRF with the Genesis aftercare and I guess the mental health caseload.
Yes. Okay, so I will, as soon as I get that, I will sign those conditions and that withdrawal on the MTR. But she needs to go in a breakout room with probation right now.
Okay, Judge, may I be excused?
I think so, yes, thank you.
All right, well, thank you for your patience, Judge. You have a
Yes,
good day.
thank you. Absolutely, you do the same. So I just need those documents, Bianca, so I can take care of the MTR.
Good luck, Ms. Munoz. Please meet
Thank-
with the probation officer.
I sure will. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Bianca, I put her in 3.
So you have the conditions to amend, you'll amend them on your end? Send it to me. Yes. Hold for DDRF. Yes, she's going to DDR.
Bless you.
On the MTR. Thank you. I'll put it on the docket sheet. Val. Jason Santos. Let me just see who came in first between Santos and Hawkins. Let's go on the record on Jason Santos. This is the March 29th, 2021 MTR, correct, on Jason Santos?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go on the record, please. This is cause number 2019 CR 6624, the state of Texas versus Jason Santos. Attorneys, please make the announcements for the record.
Gretchen Plater for the state.
Judith Wemmert for the defendant.
Mr. Santos is appearing by video conference from the Bexar County Jail. Go ahead and tell me your full name, Mr. Santos.
Jason S. Santos.
Okay, on the screen, I have the state's motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke your community supervision. State, how are we going to proceed?
We're going to proceed on violation of condition number 5, and then they abandon the other allegations.
Okay, go ahead.
In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Jason S. Santos did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December 2020, January, February 2021 in violation of condition number 5.
Is that true or not true, Mr. Santos?
That's true.
Is there an agreement?
Yes, it's for 180 days in the state jail.
Is that your agreement, Ms. Wemmert? Ms. Wemmert?
Yes, Judge, it is.
I have the file. Mr. Santos, is that what you want to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Santos, I do find that violation of condition number 5 is true. I will enter adjudication of guilt and find you guilty of the state jail felony offense of manufacture or delivery of a controlled substance, paragraph 3 or 4, less than 28 grams. I will assess punishment pursuant to your agreement to 180 days confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. This is for the state jail facility. You do get credit for the time that you have been in custody on this case. Did you do any residential treatment? Mr. Santos,
Sorry?
did you do residential treatment at all?
I do not believe so.
Okay, we'll look into that. This is a plea bargain case. I did follow your plea bargain agreement. What that means is you do not have a right to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
So even though it's an adjudication of guilt and revocation of probation, I'm treating it as a plea bargain case because you made an agreement as to your punishment. All right, thank you. You're excused.
Judge, could I
Yes, ma'am.
ask, the defendant was arrested on the MTR in Kansas on May 14th, 2021, and he was extradited to Texas on May 29th, 2021. Would it be possible to give him credit for those days as well as the time he's been in Bexar County?
Yes. Did you get that, Valerie? Did you say May 20th, 2021 is when he was in Kansas?
He was arrested in Kansas on May 14th, 2021.
Okay, so credit since May 14th, 2021.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Wemmert, for your patience this
No
afternoon.
problem. Enjoy the time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay. You're excused, sir. Hawkins, Morales, and Glover are the last ones I have.
think we're ready on Gordon, Judge.
Ready on Hawkins, Your Honor. This is Ed Shaughnessy.
Yes, Mr. Shaughnessy, I'm looking for your paperwork.
It's an MTR.
I have it. And there's a dismissal as well.
There should be 2 dismissals. One
There's 2,
felony.
Judge. I sent you the misdemeanor and the night mag's already filled out. I'll send once he pleads.
Sorry, Samuel, what did you say? You sent me one and sending another?
Yes, Judge, the night mag is filled out. Once he pleads true, I'll send that one as well.
Okay, this is the January 2020 MTR?
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's an April 7th,
April
2021.
April
Yeah, that's what I was,
17th.
right, that's
Okay.
what I'm saying too.
I got it. Let's go on the record. This is cause number 2019 CR 0404, the state of Texas versus Charles Henry Hawkins. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Samuel Laws
Ed
for the state, Your
Shaughnessy.
Honor.
Ed Shaughnessy for the defendant Hawkins, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Hawkins is appearing by video conference from the Bexar County Jail. Go ahead and tell me your full name, sir.
Charles Henry Hawkins.
Okay. On the screen, I have the state's motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke your community supervision. State, go ahead and read your violation.
Thank you, Your Honor. Violated condition number 5 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Charles Henry Hawkins did then and there fail to report in person or through virtual means, i.e. Zoom, for the months of December 2020, February and March 2021, in violation condition number 5.
Is that true or not true, Mr. Hawkins?
That is true, Your Honor.
State waives the remaining violations, Your Honor.
What is the recommendation?
Your Honor, we're asking for 3 years confinement in the Texas Department of Corrections, as well as taking into consideration night mag number 615460, which is another assault family second offense, and county court number 661781, which is an interference with emergency telephone call.
Is that your agreement?
It is
Mr.
for the
Shaughnessy?
defendant. Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay, on this cause number 2019 CR 0404, I do find that violation of condition number 5 is true. I will enter adjudication of guilt and find you guilty of the offense of assault family second offense. That's a 3rd-degree felony. I will assess punishment pursuant to your agreement to 3 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, institutional division. You do get credit for the time you have been in custody on this case. This is a plea bargain case, Mr. Hawkins, because you made an agreement as to the punishment to be assessed in this case. So you do not have a right to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And I also have some dismissals. Cause number 661781, interference with an emergency telephone call, is dismissed. That's a misdemeanor, right, Samuel?
Yes, Your Honor. And you should have the night mag rejection as well.
I have it now. Are all the cases Mr. Hawkins has pending?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I will sign the night mag assault second offense. If you have nothing else, you're going to be remanded to the custody of the sheriff to begin your TDC sentence, Mr. Hawkins.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. We're going to go off the record. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I believe that's all family violence has. May I be excused?
Yes, see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Judge.
Your Honor, if possible, could I get in a room with Gretchen for about 2 minutes?
No.
What?
Shaughnessy, I've never seen a woman react like that to your request. An adamant no. No.
I'm finished. Is that correct?
Yes, you are, Mr.
You're
Hawkins.
done, Hawkins. Yes, you
Okay,
are.
thank you. Have a great day.
You
You're
too.
giving me grief, not you.
I have Paul Morales, but I see Mr. Hernandez. What are we doing with you, Mr. Hernandez?
Hi, Judge.
Hi.
My apologies. I misread the plea date, so I've sent my client off. We should have paperwork ready for tomorrow plea for Frank Garcia at the 1:30 docket. However, I am still here from this morning's docket for an MTR of Evelyn Salinas. And,
Yes, what are we doing with that?
Can I go into a breakout room, please?
Yes, go ahead.
With you. And
Oh, with me.
Travis, yeah. And
Okay.
Travis, please. Thank you.
All right. Let's see, where's Travis at? Travis is here?
Judge, I was trying to go talk to Mr. Shaughnessy. I was just kidding when I said no.
Okay, so Mr. Hernandez, Travis is in 6. I'll put you in there. I'm so tired. Stretch my legs.
Go to 1Ed.
Hey, Ashley,
Yes, ma'am.
Brandon Velasquez is one that pled this morning, right? With Warren.
Yes, it pled.
Okay. And then Hugo Mejia, was that on this morning?
Nope. Can't find them.
And then Donald Hastings, when did you give that a reset to?
Hastings is 823.
Thank you.
Mejia's a Wednesday. Gretchen, he's on bond. Tejas is coming back on Wednesday.
So is Barcena, right?
Yes.
Ashley Salinas is reset to August 30th. So then I just have Morales and Glover. What are we doing on Glover, Cornelius?
Glover's a plea, Judge. To an
TV's
MTR.
not muted, is it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Glover's a plea on the MTR, Judge.
Right, so are we ready to go?
Oh, we're ready to go, Judge.
After this MTR, I'm going to take a quick break and then we'll do the pleas on Morales. That's the last case we have. Okay, we're back on the record. This is on the cause number 2011 CR 9601B as in boy and 2011 CR 9603B as in boy. The state of Texas versus Trevor Glover. Before we got off the record, the state had read violations of conditions number 1. Those include possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance. Those are 2 of the violations. And the 3rd violation is possession of marijuana. All of those in violation of condition number 1. What is your plea to those violations, Mr. Glover?
True, Your Honor.
And is that for both cases?
Yes, ma'am.
You plead true? Okay. I do find that violations of conditions number 1, as alleged in the state's motion to enter adjudication of guilt, are true. What is the recommendation?
Yes, Judge, after the state has conferred with opposing counsel, we have an agreement and recommendation for the court, should the court deem it to be appropriate, and that is to grant the state's motion to enter an adjudication of guilt in both causes, revoke this defendant from community supervision, enter a finding of guilt, and sentence him to 5 years Texas Department of Corrections on both cases, and both of those cases to run concurrent. And in addition thereof, in consideration of that plea, the state is willing to tender dismissals on 3 night mag cases that are pending in the court.
That's correct, Judge.
In cause number, and Mr. Glover, is that what you agreed to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
In cause number 2011 CR 9603B, having found the violations are true, I do enter adjudication of guilt. This is a first-degree felony offense of aggravated robbery. I will find you guilty of that offense. Hang on. Yes, I find you guilty of the offense of aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon. There's a $1,500 fine. This will run concurrent with 2011 CR 9601B. And I do make a finding that a deadly weapon was used in the commission of this offense. This matter will run concurrent. I already said it for the record, 2011 CR 9601B.
Thank you, Judge.
Right. Let's move on to 2011 9601B. I do find that violations of condition number 1 are true as alleged in the state's motion to enter adjudication of guilt. I will enter adjudication of guilt and find you guilty, Mr. Glover, of the offense of aggravated robbery. I also make an affirmative finding that a deadly weapon was used in the commission of this crime. There's a $1,500 fine. This will run concurrent with 2011 CR 9603B as in boy. I will assess punishment at 5 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division for a period of 5 years. You do get credit for all the time that you have been in custody on this case.
Your Honor?
Yes?
I know, and thank you for giving me credit. I was also locked up in Travis County. I was seeing if I get credited for that also.
I would need the dates.
Okay.
So even if we don't have the dates now from TDC, you can always write me. I do it all the time. I need the dates, exactly the dates that you were in confinement in Travis County. And then we need to make sure that there was an active warrant from my court holding you during that confinement period. And absolutely, I do give you credit for that. You know, Mr. Glover, how old were you in 2011?
Your Honor, I was 18 years old. I had just turned 18.
You know, at 18 years old, you were facing a cap of 22 under your original plea bargain, weren't you? And today you were sentenced to 5 years. So, I mean, I think there is a thank you owed to your attorney and the state for giving you such a good deal at this point after all this time on deferred.
Thank you, Mr. Cox, and thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, State. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, this is a plea bargain case. You made an agreement as to the time of confinement, so I am going to consider it a plea bargain case, and you do not have a right to appeal. All right, we will, how many days does he have in Bexar County? In Bexar County, we have a total of 935 days in custody, so that's a significant amount of time. Mr. Glover, hopefully this is the opportunity for you to hit the reset button and not end up in the criminal justice system again, sir.
Your Honor, I'll definitely take that into account, and you won't see me in your courtroom again. And like I said, thank you for blessing me with what you blessed me with today. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. We're gonna go off the record. We're all done.
One quick question.
So I'm gonna just give me a few minutes. I need to get all the paperwork for Morales situated, and then we'll take the plea and then we'll be done. Yes, Glover is excused. Morales, there's a plea. Let's see. How many pleas are we doing on Morales, State?
2.
Same range of punishment? So, yeah, go ahead and swear in.
Mr. Morales, can you raise your right hand and unmute yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you Paul Morales, the defendant in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
You're familiar with the exhibits and stipulations that were attached?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you solemnly swear it's true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
You're familiar with the jury waiver?
Yes, ma'am.
Your attorney has explained to you your constitutional rights and you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
It is your desire to enter this plea and waive your right to a jury trial.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can lower your hand. Thank you.
There is a case that ends in 3128. I don't have a dismissal for that one. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I have it. Okay, give me 2 minutes. We're gonna get started.
Hey, Gretchen.
Okay, let's go on the record on Paul Anthony Morales. Mr. Morales, can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what we're gonna do is I'm going to give you the two different sets of warnings for the range of punishment, but I'm gonna do everything else together because all of your rights and duties are the same. So except for the range of punishment, that is the only thing that is different on the two sets of documents that you sign. Okay? But if you have any questions, just stop me along the way. Let's go on the record. This is cause number 2021 CR 3135 and cause number 2021 CR 3133, the state of Texas versus Paul Morales. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Gretchen Flater for the state.
Eduardo Jimenez for the defendant.
Okay, Mr. Morales is appearing by video conference from the Bexar County Jail. Go ahead and tell me your full name, sir.
My name is Paul Anthony Morales.
Okay, Mr. Morales, on the screen, I have the true bill of indictment for the first case. That's cause number ending in 3135. It alleges the offense of felon in possession of a firearm. Do you understand the charge you have in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And in cause number ending in 3133, it alleges the offense of aggravated robbery. Do you understand the charge in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's start with this bill of indictment, the felon in possession of a firearm. That's a third-degree felony. It is punishable by confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, the Institutional Division, for any period between 2 and 10 years confinement. It also carries a possible fine of up to $10,000. Do you understand the range of punishment that applies?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Morales, on the first-degree felony offense of aggravated robbery, that is punishable by confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, the Institutional Division, for any period from 5 to 99 years or life, and a possible fine of up to $10,000. Do you understand that range of punishment?
Yes, Your Honor.
On both of these cases, Mr. Morales, you have the right to a jury trial. In fact, on all of your indicted cases, you have the right to a jury trial. You have the right to cross-examine all of the witnesses against you at trial. You also have the right to remain silent. Those are your constitutional rights. Do you understand those?
Yes, Your Honor.
In the aggravated robbery case, when you signed this document I have on the screen, what you're telling me is you want to give up those rights. Is that what you intend to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this your electronic signature?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
You are?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you are not a citizen, I'm still required to tell you that a plea of guilty or no contest to this charge could result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Mr. Morales, in both of these cases, are you satisfied with the representation of your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, before we go too far along on the felon in possession of a firearm, is this your electronic signature here?
Yes, it is.
And with your signature, you're telling me you want to give up your constitutional rights on that case as well. Is that what you intend to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And in this case, are you satisfied with the representation of your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And in this case, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, ma'am.
If you are not a citizen in this cause number, I still have to tell you a plea of guilty or no contest to this charge could result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Mr. Jimenez, in both of these cases, does your client have a rational and factual understanding of the proceedings against him?
Yes, he does, Your Honor.
In your opinion, has he been able to assist you in the preparation of any defenses?
Yes, he has, Your Honor. Thank you.
And I apologize. In your opinion, in both of these cases, Is he mentally competent to waive his rights and enter into a plea?
In my opinion, he's mentally competent, Your Honor.
Okay. I will accept the waiver of rights in both of these cases and make it part of the record. Mr. Morales, let's take a look at the plea bargain agreement that you made in this case. This is the aggravated robbery. No, sorry, this is the felon in possession of a firearm case ending in 3135. The plea bargain agreement calls for 6 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division, no fine, no applications for probation, concurrent with the aggravated robbery 2021 CR 3133. And the state is going to dismiss 5 felonies against you. No contact order with Dollar General or Naomi De Leon. In this case, is that your understanding of the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let's take a look at the aggravated robbery case ending in 3133. The plea bargain agreement in this case calls for 6 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division, no fine, affirmative finding that a deadly weapon was used in the commission of the crime, concurrent with the felon in possession case 2021 CR 3135. The state is going to dismiss the same 5 felony cases. Is that your understanding of the plea bargain in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jimenez, is that your understanding of both of these matters?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
And Ms. Flater, is that your understanding of the agreement in both of these cases?
Yes, Judge.
I'm going to start with the aggravated robbery since I have that on the screen. What is your plea to the charge of aggravated robbery? Is it guilty, not guilty, or no contact? No contest, sorry.
No contest.
Are you pleading no contest in this case because you have talked about this matter with your attorney and you believe after talking to your attorney that this is in your best interest?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone forced you to enter a plea
No, ma'am.
or offered you anything in exchange?
No, ma'am.
I will accept the plea of no contest on the aggravated robbery case. I find the plea is voluntarily made and I will ask the state to tender its proof.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No objections, Your Honor.
States 1 in this case is admitted. Mr. Morales, what is your plea on the offense of felon in possession of a firearm? Is it guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
And are you entering a plea of no contest because you've talked about this matter with your attorney and after talking to him, you believe it's in your best interest to do so?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, I am.
Has anyone forced you to enter a plea
No, ma'am.
or offered you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, Your Honor.
I will accept the plea of no contest. I find the plea is voluntarily made and I will ask the state to tender its proof.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No objections, Your Honor.
States 1 is admitted in the felon in possession of a firearm case. Mr. Jimenez, in both of these cases, are you satisfied the state complied with Article 3914?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
I will sign the discovery acknowledgement in both of these matters and make it part of the record. Okay, give me just a few minutes to review the exhibits. Let's go back on the record, please. I do find the evidence is sufficient to substantiate your guilt in both of these cases. In cause number 2021 CR 3133, I find you guilty of the offense of aggravated robbery as alleged in the indictment. And I also make an affirmative finding that a deadly weapon was used in the commission of the crime. This will run concurrent with 2021 CR 3135. I will assess punishment at 6 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division. You do get credit for the time you have been in custody on this case. No contact order with Dollar General and no contact order with Naomi De Leon, and Naomi is spelled NYOMIE De Leon. Yes, no contact order with Dollar General. This is a plea bargain case. Mr. Morales, I did follow your plea bargain agreement. You do not have a right to appeal. Let's go on to 2021 CR 3135. I do find you, I'm sorry, I find the evidence is sufficient to substantiate your guilt. And I find you guilty of the offense of felon in possession of a firearm. I will assess punishment at 6 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division. You get credit for the time you have been in custody. There is no fine and no application in this case. This will run concurrent with cause number 2021 CR 3133. This is also a plea bargain case, Mr. Morales. I followed your plea bargain agreement. You do not have a right to appeal this matter either.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Hang on, because this trial court cert of appeal is not signed, so I'm going to ask you to stay behind and sign it. In consideration of your plea, the state is going to dismiss all these cases. The unauthorized use of a motor vehicle is dismissed. Ashley, can you work on getting him that trial court cert that's not signed? The possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 1 to 4 grams, that is dismissed. Possession 1 to 4 grams, same cause number ending in 0650, that is dismissed. Possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 1 to 4 grams is dismissed. And 2021 CR 3128, that's another possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, penalty group 1, that's dismissed. You caught a very big break, Mr. Morales. I hope you see the opportunity in this to hit the reset button in your life, because that's a lot of felonies.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so hang tight. You're going to get an email from Ashley Chavez, and I need you to quickly sign it and send it back to me so I can go home.
Okay,
We're going to go off the record. Yes. I'm sorry, what was that?
Do I need help from one of the bailiffs to get into that email to sign it?
Yes, I will. Somebody will go help you. For now, we're going to go off the record.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez, for your patience. Thank you, guys, for staying late.
Judge, quick question.
Happy birthday, Gretchen.
Thanks. See you guys. Bye.
Quick question, Your Honor.
Uh-huh.
On Wednesday, we had the motion to suppress involving a